Hi friends, my name is Julie and welcome back to my farm. As of the end of July, this channel has been around for a full year and I couldn't have done it without the support of all my subscribers and watchers over this past year. I really sincerely thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking the time. I know you have so many choices when it comes to YouTube and when it comes to farming and homesteading content and where you go for your information, and I'm just so grateful that some of you have chosen to watch the content that I put together, because I put a lot of effort into making sure that that content is really thorough and informative as well as entertaining for you guys. So thank you, thank you, thank you. As some of you may know, YouTube has what they call their partner program, and that is how people make a little bit of money on the content that they create. How it works is you get a percentage of the ad revenues for those ads that play during and in between the videos that you're watching. And there are some basic requirements that YouTube has as a company to allow you to enter into the YouTube partner program. So we actually hit those eligibility requirements after only 10 months of being on the platform, which really just blew me away. I had mentally prepared for it to take much, much longer. And so while it's small, that tiny bit of revenue that we do get really goes a long way to supporting what we do here on the farm. So thank you again. There are actually a lot of things to be thankful for around the farm these days, and I want to share a few of those with you. The first one being that we have plenty of grass. Now, earlier this year, I'm not even going to call it a drought, but we went several weeks without decent rainfall, and I started to get really nervous because the grass wasn't growing back. I'm kind of pushing my limits as it is right now with the number of animals I have grazing, and I was really worried that we were going to run out of grass. And from what I understood from those local farms that sell hay, they weren't growing any grass either, so they weren't cutting any hay. And I was getting worried we were going to have to liquidate animals in a hurry, and I really hate selling animals. But it all worked out. We were very lucky. Once the rain started, we started getting almost daily afternoon showers, which is perfect for around here. That's back to what we normally see in this area this time of year. And the grass has been growing just like it should. So I've been able to move these guys every day. We're on about a 45-day rotation around all of our grazing paddocks we have available to us. As you can see, they're mowing the pond area for us right now. There are really only 2 spots on the property where I can park the sheep for 2 days with this many sheep, and around the pond is one of them. They're actually going to spend a day and a half here, but it does save me an hour of labor in moving them. They really love this area. It's really diverse, and it grows really quickly because there's a pond in the middle. Sad pond right now. We're not getting quite as much rain as I would like, but man, if you're paying attention to what's going on with the weather in the rest of the country, I am so thankful that we chose North Carolina and this area to farm, because water is so important. The droughts out west and in Texas are causing farmers to go out of business, really, to have to sell off all their cattle in a hurry, because not only is the grass not growing, there's no hay, and if you can find hay, it's from far away and it's very expensive. It's just not worth it to keep that animal, and that's really sad. You have to watch and see what happens, especially with the beef market in the next couple years, because it's definitely taken a hit. And then on the other side, we've got flooding. There was flooding in Tennessee not too long ago, and now there's flooding in Kentucky just these past few weeks. It's really sad to see what's happening, and nature and weather are one of those things that farmers are at the mercy of and have no control over, but really affects your bottom line almost more than anything else. So again, feeling very grateful to be in a place where we're getting decent rainfall and good growth, and that I can feed my animals. In addition to the grass growing really well this year, I am so thankful that we have kind, thoughtful, generous neighbors that allow us to graze their property as well. It's pretty much the #1 thing that has allowed me to grow my flock of sheep as large as I have. What you're looking at behind me here, this beautiful field of what is mostly bahia grass right now, I don't pay anything for this. I, of course, give my neighbor eggs and sausage and whatever meat he wants whenever he wants it, because I am very grateful for the use of this land. But honestly, he's not using it. He'd have to mow it several times a year if I wasn't grazing it. What I'm doing is fertilizing it, beautifying it, and just helping manage it out here. It's a win-win for both of us, but it's still just really awesome to have neighbors that will do that sort of thing for you. So another thing that's been really awesome this year is figs. We actually have figs growing on this property, and not just a couple. This tree has been loaded with figs. I've been harvesting figs every day for a month, I think. I made a big batch of fig jam, plus we're eating a ton of them fresh. And one of the reasons this is very exciting for me, here's a little one. They're starting to peter out a little bit, but oh man, they're good. Well, there's a much better one over here. It's very ripe. And they just pull right off. I have no idea what variety they are. I did not plant this tree. Oh, they're so jammy and sweet. The reason I am so thrilled that we have figs is not only because I love figs, they're terrific, is that when we were planning to buy this property, on the real estate listing, it advertised that it had a variety of fruit trees. It said it had peaches, pecans, I think cherry, and figs. We found the peaches. They were almost dead. Tried to revive some of them. I'm not an arborist. They're not doing that great. We do have a bunch of beautiful pecan trees. They've never produced any nuts, so I think they're of a variety that is not fruiting, but that's okay. They're gorgeous. They provide a lot of shade. That's fine. But I never found any figs, and that always really bothered me, because why would you put that in your ad? And I had come from a farm where I had apprenticed for a year where they had a fig orchard. Like, I know what a fig tree looks like. And I scoured this property. I walk it all the time. We grazed it for years, moving daily throughout it, going over every inch of this property. I never saw a fig tree until 2 years ago. We decided to change our grazing plan a little bit because we had this giant azalea bush right here. And azaleas are toxic to sheep and goats. So in the past, we've just kind of put them around it very quickly, half a day, and then move them out of the area. That way they can get any grass, or you see there's like vines growing on the bush. So they can kind of clean up the area. And if they eat a few leaves, in our experience, it's been okay. I know how to treat an animal if it eats too many. So it's been a calculated risk that we've taken. But then 2 years ago, we decided to change that strategy and just kind of try to avoid it. I'd rather not have animals get sick. So when we decided to avoid grazing this area, all of a sudden I discovered that there was this giant fig tree right here. And it's tall. Like, it hasn't been pruned to be small and bushy like I'm used to, where it'd be easy to harvest. That's why we have a ladder out here so we can get the higher up ones. But this thing has produced a ton of figs, and I didn't know about it for 5 years. For 5 years, I could have been probably for 5 years, I could have been harvesting figs, but whatever. I think we discovered it too late in the season in 2020. Last year, I don't know, it just fell off the radar, or maybe it was just recovering. I never saw any growth on it. This year, Daryl just for some reason thinks of it and is like, I'm gonna go check that fig tree. Comes back and is like, there's like hundreds of figs on your tree. So, yeah, we're getting tons of figs this year and it's awesome. I've been loving it. It's my like end of the day chore. I just come over and kind of pick whatever figs have ripened for the day. And while this is definitely starting to slow down in the past week or so, I understand that I might even get a second flush in the fall. So we're definitely gonna keep a close eye on this tree from now on. Oh yeah, did I mention I learned how to water bath can this year? It's been one of those things that I've always meant to do, and I'd kind of dabbled with some pickles in the past, but I never really seriously learned how to do it and do it right with all the safety rules. And this year I am all about it. I am preserving all kinds of fruit, mostly jam. It's my fig jam. I'm very proud of this because this came from our fig tree. but I also was able to preserve a whole bunch of strawberries and blueberries from organic local farmers around here when they're in season. So I'll be able to enjoy that all year round, as well as tomatoes and a whole lot of pickles. So yeah, very excited about that. I'm also thankful that we have all this wonderful natural shade for these goats. Sleep in all day, be comfortable, because it is hot out here. I'm also really thankful that my goats are healthy. You may know from some of my other videos, we've struggled with some health issues this year that I just haven't experienced. I'm pretty new to milking. I've been doing it for 2.5 seasons now. This was the first year I had to deal with a bunch of mastitis. First time I had to deal with staph infections. I feel like we had to get the mineral imbalances taken care of in some of these animals. But I'm so happy to report that whatever we're doing is working, because everybody is just doing awesome right now. The milk is flowing like crazy, even though these girls are pretty far along in their lactation. And, you know, the further we get from the time of birth, the less milk their body usually makes. But these girls are just pumping it out, which makes me feel confident that their nutrition is good. Their coats look awesome. They just seem really happy. You can see how relaxed they are. You know, nobody's going hungry in this group. Everybody's feeling really good. And that just makes me happy. These are two of my oldest ducks. I just refer to them as brown duck and black duck. Very exciting names, I know. They are Muscovies, and they're two of my only hens left. Our numbers have kind of dwindled down here. That's sort of the bane I have in free-range animals. We've had problems with owls getting a lot of them. But these girls keep trying to hatch eggs, and they decided to co-nest, unfortunately in a really bad area, and we're only able to hatch... Hi, Cypress. We're only able to hatch 2 ducklings out of a clutch of like 20 eggs between the two of them. But they're doing good though. They're growing up with 2 moms, doing their co-mothering thing. I think we're gonna end up buying some more ducklings, because it's the season where these guys hatch out quite a few and people are looking to rehome them. But we have the ducks mainly for pest control, and they do a fantastic job keeping the mosquitoes and flies down. So I'd really like to have some more of these guys running around the property. I've been giving all the dogs, but especially Cypress here, quite a bit of the raw goat's milk. I mix it with his kibbles, kind of like a cereal. I also let him lick the pail after I'm done milking. And I have no idea if this is related. I'm not making any bold claims here, but this dog has been limping for over 2 years. On one of his knees, we've had some x-rays done, and he's definitely got some wear and tear on those knees. His hips look good, which is positive, but he runs like a crazy man. He jumps off of high things, tries to climb trees. He does all kinds of crazy stuff around here. So I've tried a bunch of things to help Cypress feel a little bit better. We definitely limit his activity and how much work that he does on the farm. And I put him on cage rest when he gets too sore. We do massages. I'll ice his joints when he needs it. I've tried adequate injections. I've tried oral anti-inflammatories. I've given him CBD. I've put him on bone broth. He still gets that pretty regularly. But when I started giving him raw goat's milk in every meal, I saw a change. I mean, this dog went from limping on sometimes 3 out of 4 legs to having no perceptible limp. I mean, when he goes hard, sometimes he'll be a little ginger on that knee, and that's to be expected. I'm not saying that he's cured, and maybe it has to do more with the weather and the humidity. He's just making his joints more lubricated and feels a little bit better. But I really think the raw goat's milk has been helping him. It's definitely not hurting, so he's gonna keep getting it. He's a big healthy boy, right? Yeah, he's a big healthy boy. He's a good boy. You wanna go for a walk? Let's go. Let's go for a walk. Come on, Sissy. Come on, Sai Sai. Everyone's being good. Sai's out there checking on all his animals. Let's go, Sai Sai. Good boy. He's my good boy. He's my good boy. Yeah, good boy. All right, I'm doing my hair now. Let's go. Yeah, this guy's been feeling pretty good. Been able to have him out doing chores with me more often. Not have to worry about him getting so sore. Yeah. It's a good stick. So that's it for today, guys. Just a quick video to say thank you and share some of the good things going on the farm this time of year. If you want to learn all about Cypress here and our pack of Catahoula leopard dogs, you can check it out right here. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.